Godzilla X Kong is the fifth installment in the MonsterVerse that we have gotten so far. It is also directed by Adam Wingard, who directed, if I can find it right here, Godzilla vs. Kong, the last installment in this franchise. One that, if you guys, I don't know actually, I don't know if I ever reviewed this thing. I don't remember if I did or not. This came out during COVID. It was actually one of the first movies to return back to the movie theater. I remember a lot of people talking about it. And this was a lot of fun. I remember really, really taking a liking to this. And I really, I'm not going to say I love the MonsterVerse just because, these movies aren't fantastic or anything, but I do really like them. I've just recently rewatched the Gareth Edwards Godzilla movie and Kong Skull Island and King of Monsters, and then I'm probably going to end up rewatching Godzilla vs. Kong as well. I like, big, stupid kaiju movies, no matter what form they come in. Yes, do Americans not really understand how to make these movies? Kind of. But, excuse me. I feel like this MonsterVerse has been giving us exactly what we wanted from an Americanized version of Godzilla and King Kong. So, yeah, I'm a fan. I can sit back and just enjoy these movies. I will have to say, though, I have differing opinions on each one. I think that Kong Skull Island is actually pretty good. I really enjoy that movie. It is some great dumb fun, and it's insanely rewatchable. I don't really like the Gareth Edwards Godzilla movie, which is right here. I have that on Blu-ray. Not a fan of that movie very much. And I actually really like King of Monsters. I do have issues with it. It's not perfect. But it is, I don't know, it's solid dumb fun. And same with Godzilla vs. Kong. I think that these movies hit the mark exactly how they're supposed to, and give the audience exactly what they want each time. Is there a little too much focus on the human characters and the very thin plot that goes along with that? Yes. But I do think that Monarch is very interesting as a concept in general, and even getting, loose storylines throughout that is enough for me. Now, Godzilla X Kong, The New Empire, is one of the... I just got back from seeing it. It was one of the worst theater experiences I've had in a really long time. That may have thrown me off from the movie a bit, I guess. But I was in a theater full of people talking very loudly talking the entire time. There were two people laughing hysterically throughout the entire movie. Multiple people were on their phones in my row, very brightly. And I don't know, I was very tired and I fell asleep during a good 5 to 10 minutes of this movie. I was super dizzy throughout the entire time. I don't know. Something about this movie was so disorienting that I just did not have a great time while seeing this in the movie theater. So maybe that's clouding my my judgment here a bit. But man, did I really hate Godzilla X Kong. For me, it comes down to three simple reasons. Number one is that I think that the VFX team on this movie really dropped the ball. The main draw and the main focus of this franchise is the big CGI monsters and them bashing each other. That is what we want. That is what we want to see. We want to see destruction. We want to see chaos. We want to see big things smashing into each other because it's fun to watch. This movie does do that to a point, but it is so awfully rendered and so slapped together in the visual department that it legitimately gave me a migraine. I could not keep my eyes on the screen because of how nauseating the camera work was, how unfinished a lot of the CGI was, how PS2 era graphics the green screen had. I mean, every single element to the visual side of this movie completely dropped the ball, which is so disappointing and so aggravating to see them lazily put out this movie. Because if you go back to, King of Monsters, say what you will about that movie, I think this, not a great story, nonsensical characters, piss poor acting throughout most of the cast. That movie is a CGI opus. I think it is one of some of the best VFX work we have seen in a movie in a really long time. It is beautiful. This movie, on the other hand, looks like it puts Shark Boy and Lava Girl on a pedestal. Like man, it is excruciating to look at the entire time. I was amazed at how little work was put into the effects for this movie. It was baffling. It legitimately was incredibly baffling. Number two is them swinging for heights that they just cannot reach with this kind of franchise. They were trying to introduce shit that is way above their pay grade, way above their intelligence level, and way above anything that these movies ever should be. It complicated things to the point of incohesion. These movies should be very simple to follow. They should have bare bones plots, miscellaneous characters that aren't too deep. The main focus should be the monsters. And while they kind of are this time, they are trying to give they're trying to give too much personality to these monsters. They're trying to, I don't know, it was just so cornball and so over the top to where it wasn't, it wasn't cool anymore. Cam actually pointed this out on the car ride home, and I'm kind of going to steal this a little bit from her. But these movies, at the end of the day, should be cool. They should be, fun, big old action movies that are like awesome. And this movie was not. It was lame. It was incredibly lame, and it focused way too much on the specifics of the universe and Hollow Earth. It went way too fucking far with all of that, and it ended up just confusing itself by the end. Excuse me. I think the worst cardinal sin that this movie commits, besides the visuals of it, is that it was boring. This movie was boring me to tears throughout most of it. It was so utterly mundane and so uneventful and such just a CGI blob fest. It's akin to like a later franchise Transformers movie. Like not even like the first one, not even I forget what the second one's called, the one with the pyramids that's really also dog shit. Not even that. The Mark Wahlberg era of Transformers movies, that was the level of excitement we were getting out of Godzilla X Kong New Empire. And I did not think I was going to be that upset that this movie was as bad and as lifeless and as disappointing, really, as it was. Am I reading in way too much into it? Probably. People have fun with this movie. Fine, go ahead. But as someone who genuinely really enjoys these kaiju movies and the monster universe for what it is, this movie was a huge step backwards and is so lazy and is so effortless on the behalf of the studio that made this movie, because it wasn't a filmmaker that made this movie. It was a studio through and through. And yeah, I was severely disappointed. So I'm going to give Godzilla X Kong an F. Yeah, another F. That we have had 3 so far this year. 2024 is looking to be a very interesting year for movies, and I feel like I'm in for quite the wild ride here. So yeah, I passionately hate this movie. So have you guys seen Godzilla X Kong? Did you hate it like I did? Did you find some enjoyment out of it somewhere in the middle? Please let me know in the comments. There is a ton of movies coming out, so please be on the lookout for those. We're going to have The First Omen, Monkey Man, Civil War, Challengers, all coming out in April. All movies I'm super excited for, all movies I'm going to be reviewing. And somewhere towards like probably the end of May, I am going to be talking about a lot of movies that I haven't reviewed so far. So if you're wondering why I haven't reviewed certain movies, it may not be because I haven't seen them yet. It's just because I didn't get a chance to review them on time. So stuff like Society of the Snow, Kung Fu Panda 4, Problemista, Out of Darkness, what else? Self-Reliance, The Kitchen, all of those movies I'm going to be reviewing in one big thing. So anything I don't really get around to right now that you want to see me talk about, please let me know in the comments so I can add it to that list. Other than that, I hope you guys have a great day, and I will see you in the next video.